weekly trip through the funniest, weirdest, and most New England news we could dig up. Huh.
And when we say weird, we mean it. This week alone, we've got a moose causing traffic jams,
Oh
a
God.
pumpkin bigger than my car, chowder wars in Boston,
Watch
and
out.
even a town that literally got snowed on with cocoa powder.
Oh goodness, somebody bring the milk. Also, as my dream retirement plan, forget Florida. Just jump me to Switzerland during the cocoa storm, and I'm all set. Huh.
Jerry, you'd last 2 minutes before you passed out from eating the street.
Hey, totally worth it. Totally worth it. All right, so let that work out. All right, here we go. So we're gonna do Moose blocks downtown traffic, Concord. All right, the Moose wandered into Concord on the weekday morning, stood calmly in an intersection, and backed up traffic for an hour and a half. Police eventually blocked the road until the Moose strolled off into the woods. Like, imagine that.
Picture this: you're running late to work, already stressed, and then BAM! There's a moose in the road just vibing. Not running, not scared, just chilling like it pays taxes.
Yeah, New Hampshire official DMV slogan should be "Expect delays. Moose may appear." Yeah, goodness.
I just love the mental image of police officers treating the moose like a celebrity. Like, folks, no more pictures. Please give him some space.
No autographs. But do you think anyone tried to honk? Because you know there's always one guy who thinks his his prayers is scarier than the 1,200 pound antlers.
Yeah, good luck, buddy. That moose will rearrange your bumper like Legos.
Yeah, if this happens in Boston, forget it. The Moose would already been on the tee, wearing a Red Sox hat and T-shirt, and nobody would even look twice. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Side riff though. Let's see. Talk about the weird things You've each seen while driving. Turkey, bear,
I mean,
people, etc.
I've seen turkeys in the middle of the road, like 20 of them. It took forever for like a car to move because the turkeys wouldn't move.
Okay, well, I've seen a squirrel that when we was about to run him over, he actually laid down, turned on his back, and avoided being ran over. Very smart squirrel. I've seen a fox out here. I've seen a couple of deers running around actually in somebody's backyard, like right up the street. It's kind of weird, but those ain't like weird things, but just to be here around here, they're actually kind of weird. No bears, no bobcats. Anyways, so what's the strangest excuse you ever used or could use for being late? Because honestly, a moose on the crosswalk beats any alarm that didn't go off. Seriously.
I don't think I've ever used an excuse to being late.
Well, you gotta have some type of excuse if you're gonna be late. But anyways, let's go to Pumpkin Ways Off breaks record. It's kind of weird. A pumpkin weigh off breaks record. A pumpkin weighing over 2,000 pounds won the annual Keen weigh off. Crowds gathered to watch as folk lifts moved the monster gourd. The local joked about carving it into a jack o' lantern big enough to live in. You probably could. This pumpkin weighed more than most cars. Imagine the insurance claim. Yeah, my Civic got crushed by a pumpkin. Imagine that, right?
I guarantee that pumpkin has better health care than me. It's probably getting daily checkups, spa treatments, essential oils.
Yeah, yeah. And poor guy driving it though. The poor guy driving it weighed off. The poor guy driving it to the way off though. It wouldn't sleep. Like I wouldn't sleep for a week. One pothole and boom, the whole country is in knee deep in pumpkin guts. Ugh.
You just know someone's kid asked if they could carve it, and their dad's like, "Sure, son, but first grab a chainsaw."
All right. So what about fall traditions like pumpkin carving, cider, donuts, haunted hay rides? What type of stuff are you most excited for this time of year?
I mean, donuts are pretty good.
Cider donuts are
Have you
good.
ever had
I'm
them?
yeah, I have actually. I'm more into the haunted hay rides and the all the scary stuff. But if you had a 2,000 pound pumpkin, what would you turn it into? A jack o' lantern house or just the world's biggest pumpkin spice latte?
As I
Okay.
said before, pumpkin spice latte.
I know you would. Take over. He's on you.
Huh?
Go ahead.
So, Massachusetts Madness. Boston Chowder Festival ends in tie.
How dare they?
After hours of taste testing, two chefs tied for first place in Boston's annual chowder competition. Attendees argued loudly about who really won.
Hmm.
This is the most Boston thing ever, getting into a heated argument over clam broth.
Hey, we take our clam broth very serious. I personally don't eat clam chowder, which I know a Boston person would think I'm crazy. I'm from Boston, but still, I don't eat clam chowder. But anyway, I love that the judges couldn't even decide. Like, we've got 42 bowls of chowder, and our arteries are 80% cream. Call it a time. What the heck?
And you know somebody stormed out screaming, "Rigged! It's all rigged!" while slamming their bread bowl on the ground.
But meanwhile, the real loser is everyone's lactose tolerance. Anyway, forget the trophies. The prize should be a lifetime supply of lactate. So, but me personally, I don't have any, but I have heard some. But anyway, do you have any personal experience on people debating on like Boston clam chowder and New Hampshire diner clam chowder?
I don't, no, I don't know much about clam chowder. I don't eat clam chowder. I eat haddock chowder. That's way better than clam chowder.
Yeah, I would think so. But if I was a clam chowder person and I had to pick a preference on where I would eat my clam chowder, it would be definitely New Hampshire, New Hampshire diner. Not that I have anything against Boston chowder. I'm just saying, like, I know that's gonna rub some people the wrong way, but I love Boston for everything else. But I'm not a chowder person. But if I was gonna pick chowder, it would be New Hampshire or Maine. Anyway,
I mean, I would probably pick my grandma's because she's really good at making chowder.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I just know there was a few places up in New Hampshire that was like stores that was solely dedicated to chowder, just making chowder, and they would only open certain times a year. And these places they would be closed most of the year, but then they would open for this one time a year, and it would just be so packed. But anyway, who makes better chowder, Boston restaurants or New Hampshire diner? And bonus points if you get a family recipe that could win this thing.
I'm
Hmm.
telling you, my grandma's chowder.
I believe it. All right, let's go to Cape Cod shark sightings break records. More great white sightings were logged off of
Yep.
Cape Cod this year, more than ever before. Despite warnings, beachgoers kept swarming. Like, why are you doing that? This is a peak New England stubbornness. Yeah, there's a shark, but I already paid $20 a park, and I'm just gonna go right in. So, and then when you get eaten, you wanna complain.
Stupid. At this point, sharks are basically Cape Cod locals. They should
Yeah.
be getting mail here.
They really should. I want the shark to start running beachside businesses. Welcome to Shark Shack. Enjoy your lobster roll and don't mind Uncle Bruce circling the waves. Oh goodness, Uncle
Between
Bruce.
sharks in the water and seagulls stealing your fries, honestly, I take the sharks. At least they don't scream at you while they do.
Yeah, the seagulls would definitely be all up in your ear screaming. But what's worse than us? Than what's worse? And the shark in the water or seagull stealing your food? Pick your New England nightmare.
I'm sorry, I gotta go with the sharks in the water. That's why I don't go in the water.
Like I said, I would take the sharks in the water too, but at the same time, the seagulls are a little chaotic. Once they start get going, it's like I said, it's like the movie Birds. They just all around you. You don't know if they're plucking at you or the food. So, and then on top of that, they start pooping on everybody. That's when it gets really bad. You want to be in the water when they start pooping on everybody. But yeah. But meanwhile, New England, we get 20 inches of snow and no one blinks. Switzerland sneezes, coke. Wait, did I just skip a whole line?
You skipped the whole thing.
I'm sorry, I'll bring that back. Anyway, so we're gonna actually you take it over from here. I'll just cut that part out.
Okay. Swiss town covered in cocoa powder. A Lindt chocolate factory malfunction coated an entire town in fine cocoa powder, dusting cars, streets, and rooftops. Imagine waking up, looking outside and thinking, Willy Wonka just stepped inside the neighborhood.
Oh shit.
And meanwhile, in New England, we get 20 inches of snow, no one blinks. Switzerland sneezes cocoa dust, and the internet loses its mind. I'm gonna grab the most. I'm grabbing me a gallon of milk, and I'm going to Amp. Mm,
Each of our would be the same way.
for
Some
real.
kid definitely tried to lick it off the sidewalk. That'd be my kid. Relax, mom. It's basically Nesquik.
Yeah, well, the food I would mostly want falling from the sky, like I said, would be my fried shrimp. Um, I don't want chowder drizzling because that is gross, but funny, but gross.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like chocolate, but I don't. I like chocolate, candy chocolate, but
Hmm.
chocolate drizzles. I don't know if I would like that.
All right. If your town was covered in any food, what would you choose, though?
I don't know. What would I choose? Candy bars,
Jesus.
chocolate.
Okay. Okay. All right. So here's the wrap up. All right. So this week we had a moose traffic jam, pumpkins that need forklift, Boston chowder ties, shark tourism, and chocolate storm. Basically, New England's normal week plus a desert.
I still say the moose wins, but I'm also open to living inside a giant pumpkin if rent stays this bad.
Yeah, I have to agree with that because it'll probably be a lot cheaper.
Mm.
But anyway, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a review, and answer our listeners' questions. We want your best moose excuse, chowder loyalty, and dream food. So, this is
This was two
two
states,
states,
one mic.
one mic. We'll see
We'll
you
see you
next week.
next week.